So we've got 00 on the stream, so it's all good. So this is not my regular slot, clearly. And yeah, I just did three three streams in a row on my day off, which is Wednesday, and I just thought I would try and use my day off for something other than sitting inside at a table. So I took a trip to basically nature. So yeah, I also wasn't really all that keen on doing any benching. I haven't really done much benching this week. It's probably the first benching I did since Sunday or Monday, if I had to guess. Yeah, it's just the usual thing that happens to me. Because I have 95 liters, perfect timing. I'm glad, White Shark, and welcome. Are you still awake on a Saturday night, or or awake already again? Because I always get 95 liters, and I mean, I would never consider getting less than the total amount that I have in Dewars, just because it gets cheaper. It's a hassle. I have to get up early in the morning to meet my delivery guy and stuff. That all makes total sense. But one of the side effects of having 95 liters of LN2 is that usually by the time I really use up all of it, I'm kind of over benching for a little bit. I'm kind of a little bit sick of it. I mean, it depends. If towards the end of a delivery, I manage to knock out a really big score or something, that might re-motivate me. But oftentimes, what happens is I have a few things really that I'm really set on doing, and that I have done efficiency testing on, and that I'm reasonably confident that it will work. That I do at the beginning when I'm also most motivated because I haven't done so much LN2 in a while, probably. And then it just sort of peters out towards the end. I just have a dewar left, and I go, what am I going to do with this LN2? I don't want it to evaporate. So that's kind of what happened here. As my internet takes a bit of a dump, but hopefully it's still somewhat acceptable. Yeah, so that's what kind of happened here. And I also had some issues with this week. I guess I did some benching, or something that you could consider to be benching, but it was really just I was testing some 4870 X2s, and I ran into massive compatibility issues. So the apexes have always kind of had a little bit of an issue booting or posting rather dual GPUs. So what happens on the HD 5970 is if you have a crash in OS, if your benchmark hangs or something, then most likely the next reboot it's not going to detect your graphics card. You can force Gen 2, you can force PCI Express Gen 2, you can force because usually it's on auto when I think when you clear CMOS on the apexes, the selection between iGPU and dedicated GPU is on auto. So I thought, oh well, what if I force Gen 2 and force the first PCI Express slot and disable all the other three slots? But it just doesn't matter. It's just a crapshoot. It takes a CMOS clear. It takes a few retry button presses to again redetect the GPU afterwards. So I think on a previous stream I even ran into that issue on LN2, where I was trying to do three-way HD 5000 series, and the rig itself was working okay. I mean, the CPU was clocking and stuff, but I just couldn't get it to post. I had to do torch up quite a lot and stuff. Yeah, so the 4000 series, what I just did this week, I didn't really do benching. I didn't post any scores, but I did do some testing. So what I did was I ran through 5 4870 X2s, and none of them show really any sign of life. Sometimes they get detect, or sometimes the board gets satisfied that there is a GPU there and continues the boot, but actually doesn't detect a GPU in the first slot. And other times the post process just hangs, and I refuse to believe that I have 5 dead 4870s 70x2s. But actually, I even tried on an AM3 board. So what I might have to do is go like all the way back, go to like a DDR2 platform or something, and just see if I can get a consistent post out of the card, so that I can at least, I mean, all I really want to run is two-way. So if there are dead cards, I need to figure out which ones are dead, and obviously do that on a non-Apex board, and chuck those out. And then I need to find some sort of way on a platform that's fast enough, maybe Haswell, maybe like a Z97 OCF or something. Do a bin and then try and run them on LN2, but that's a long way off. Yeah, and I also tested my 4890s. I had two. One refused to pass benchmarks at stock, so I decided to just throw it out. The VRM is only a 3-phase or something. It wasn't worth even keeping the card just to test. I mean, those cards, for some reason, you can't underclock them. So I assume that had I overvolted and underclocked, it would have passed the benchmark, because driver install was fine, render test was fine. But I decided if the card is this bad at stock, then even if I can get it running consistently, what's really the point, you know? So I chucked that out. I bought another one, so now I have two. There was no point really binning the remaining one while I was waiting for my third card to come in. But that's also a target. I think the 3D Mark 03 two-way 4890 is up for grabs. It's a 50 pointer, and it's Papa Ramiro on ambient CPU, so that's certainly possible. So yeah, didn't have a stream on Wednesday, wanted to make up for it today. Actually, no Wednesday stream next week either, because I'm going to a national park. But that's okay. I think I'll make up for it on the weekend. Next weekend is a long weekend. It's the Queen's birthday. Right. So what am I overclocking today? And how's everyone doing, by the way? Are you all still COVID safe and all that? Let me attach an OS here. So extremely low effort stream today. Here's my other dual cores. So the one that's in the system right now, I have it labeled as best 7350K, but that's just because I've gotten it up to 6.7 before it cracked. So yeah, it's a damn good 7350K, but I really can't be sure whether it's the best. So I have 3 more to try. I'll do the usual Cinebench 15. Well, I'm doxing somebody's first name here, but anyway, this comes from a forum. This comes from Australian eBay, and I think it's a pretty crap chip, but I haven't really done much ambient testing before. And this is from an overclocker I know. That's all I'll say. And I actually have a 6100 as well, but I don't know if I'll do anything with that. I'll probably attach the chiller later on, but let's just see if we have a working working OS here. This is just a random OS. I should probably put CPZ 1.92 on here, even though I'm not going to be subbing any of these scores. I don't like using an old version. R7350K is easy to find in Australia. Surprisingly, yes. So hello, USB. This is the blue port, so it should detect. But I can try another one. All right, internet not in the best of shapes. I'm just gonna reduce my bitrate again. It's a little bit unfortunate. Okay, let's see if we can work with that. Okay, maybe we won't have USB, but let's actually just restart. So come on, internet. Okay, hopefully that's better now. I'll keep an eye on it. It's a terrible resolution. So our 7350K is easy to find. Surprisingly, yes. So actually my Apex 9 that I have in the system right now came with a 7350K. That's a really weird combination, but there you go. Okay, this internet is just terrible, but not much I can do about it, unfortunately. Still no USB port. Let's get a baseline score out and also do a stopwatch. At least it's coming and going and it's not just deteriorating completely. Yeah, so quite a few 7350Ks around for some reason. CPU temps showing 45 degrees. Interesting, maybe I don't even need chiller for this. Let's turn off my pump. I don't need the pump. Right. Now you can see the temperature. Isn't it magic? No need for the ROG extension. Just a little bit annoying. That the bitrate is just collapsing like that. Maybe it's gonna be an audio only stream. Okay, 464 Cinebench, in case you can't see that. Let's see what we can do all core on these volts, on these auto volts. Any good chips, Samza? 6.6 LN2 or above? Okay. Didn't like 5G. Let's lock in 1.4 and see if the air cooler can still keep up with that. Check yourselves, okay? Man, I have 40 megabit internet, and how the hell am I only getting 600 kilobits upload? It's just bloody ridiculous. Cache at 4.5 as well, I think is safe, or is a reasonable thing. to set. Welcome, welcome, Samza, by the way. How are you doing? Got the 10th gen in for testing yet? Ooh, what BIOS is this? Oh, that's right, I flashed back. So one of the things I tried was I was thinking that maybe flashing back to a previous BIOS would work. This is the BIOS that Matt26 LFC used for his HD 4870X2 stuff, but no, didn't help at all. Well, that's fine. We'll just make a new profile. Who sold you that chip? Hopefully not someone like Hazan. There's a few people out there, I probably shouldn't be mentioning names, but there's a few people out there who are notorious for saying, hey, this chip does, you know, X, and it doesn't do anywhere close to that. Not sure why safe mode, but oh, that's right, it hung on CPZ. Yeah, let's just do a run and time it. $69, 71. Probably starting to get to the slightly sort of ridiculous area, but still okay. Considering that there's cheap paste under the lid, no mounting pressure on the cooler, but it is a dual core, so you know, I'll just have to 77. I'll just have to check if it's throttling. I don't want any throttling to falsify these binning results. Oh, big block. Okay. Oh, he's a good guy. Maybe it just these kind of things, you know, a lot depends on paste and mount and willingness to up the V-core, and especially for multi-core stuff, actually willingness to reduce the V-core in a way. Well, I'm glad all of you could make it in spite of the internet problems and the weird timing on the stream. So yeah, maybe next Sunday I'll do, okay, 493. Let's do a quick sort of back-to-back run with the CPU-Z window showing, in case there's some sort of throttling going on here. Now let's make it more visually appealing. And I think the run took about 1 minute and 30 or so.